Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Moon Moth with the Mystical Gypsy. Welcome if you're new. This is my second channel here on YouTube. My first channel that I created last year, September, is Moon Moth Goddess, and there I read tarot and oracle cards intuitively. So if you have not checked out that channel and you do enjoy tarot readings, deck reviews that I do post, kind of zodiac readings, go ahead and check out that channel as well. And this second channel that I created is really for me to share my experiences with you, my own path down my own kind of healing journey. There's different reasons why people, take Reiki, and I kind of wanted to share my experiences with you guys. My spiritual awakening, which started last January 2019. And so I am going to be taking Reiki 2 this Saturday, Sunday, and I wanted to share my first Reiki experience with you, kind of into a little bit more detail of what the experience was like, what it felt like for me, all of the emotions that it brought up, how I was feeling, all of that kind of stuff. So if you're into tarot, go ahead and check out my first channel, Moon Moth Goddess, and then welcome back if this is if you're watching the other videos I have here on this channel. So kind of wanted to, I guess, start with just saying how I decided I was going to take Reiki, how I had never really thought about learning about the chakras, or, I was pretty new to, my spiritual awakening. And I know sometimes when you try to explain to people what a spiritual awakening is, sometimes you get these like really wide-eyed looks because people don't really understand what you're saying to them. They're just like, they might think that you're, off on your own kind of thing. They might not really understand exactly what a spiritual awakening is. Um, so basically, for me, what, kind of stemmed me going into awakening is me being part of a twin flame journey with my husband. He kind of um, pushed me into an awakening, and it was kind of like happened before I even realized it happened, and what everything meant, what all of these new terms are, what everything means. And I started getting all of these tarot readings, oracle readings by other readers, and I had always known as a child that I have certain clair abilities, but it wasn't like until the January of 2019 where they all started to make sense. I totally understood now why I was having all of these, sorry if you can hear my granddaughter, why I was having all these feelings, why I felt all of these things. And I never knew there was like a word or a term for what being an empath was. And it's like everything that I had been through in my life started all to make sense. Why I was who I was, why I am how I am, why I make the choices I do, why I feel the things I feel. So with my awakening, I started to get these tarot readings. I started to get oracle readings by different readers, and it kind of all led down into the same thing where, like, I learned that I was a starseed. I learned kind of, what part of, you know, um, the, like, Pleiades, Sirius, Lemuria, learning about all these different kinds of experiences and things, and helped me to, further understand where I was, on my own journey. So as far as choosing Reiki, it was like being an empath. It's kind of like you're this emotional kind of sponge that soaks up everyone else's energy. And for a very long time, the majority of my life, it's like you never really know what to do with that energy when you can feel it from the person that's, sitting right next to you, or, family members being around, and just kind of feeling all of these things. And understanding that the people that were drawn to me and around me in my life were because they kind of were drawn to me because of me just having that loving, healing, and compassion energy. And I'm sure that without them even realizing it or them even knowing it, that they were kind of getting that healing energy from me. So all of the readings that I got all said, you're a light worker, you're a healer, empath. So I kind of explored it, kind of, tried to learn a little bit more about what being, a healer is, what a light worker is. I think a lot of the time, a lot of those terms are very, kind of overused. But I do believe that a lot of star seeds are here for a very specific purpose. And I feel that my purpose is to be out there to help people. I had never been into tarot reading ever in my life. It was just like I always looked at it as, just the cliche, the normal things that people say about tarot, that whole, thing, not really being into it or, not believing in it. But, being on the other side of the spectrum, really realizing what your spiritual gifts are. This hair is bothering me. Um, really realizing what your spiritual gifts are and understanding how you can use those gifts to help other people. So I feel like for my own soul purpose, I feel like all the experiences that I've been through in life, very hard, and I will get into more of that, on this channel, sharing that with you guys. A lot of pretty traumatic things I've been through in my life, that have really shaped me to become the person that I am today, which now I'm able to kind of look at things from the past, things that I've been through, certain traumas during childhood, during, my adolescence, all the way in through my adulthood with different types of abusive relationships, being in a narcissistic relationship. They all kind of shape you to be the person that you are. And I felt like having been through all of those experiences has really made me a stronger woman. It's made me a stronger mother, a stronger wife. And it's really given me this complete understanding as to what my purpose is here. And that is really to help to empower others, not only women, but men, with whatever life challenges you might have, and just have this understanding about why you're here, what your purpose is, why we go through the certain things that we go through, what the lessons are that are to be learned from all of these things. Um, and just, you know, understanding that I have this healing ability with communicating with other people, with, you know, being able to feel their feelings as an empath, being able to sometimes help them to understand and sort through their own feelings more so than I feel like they're able to do for themselves, to bring clarity to them, to be there for someone to listen to and to understand what it is, what it feels like, how to deal with it, different things like that. And I told you guys in the first video, that I did have a background in nursing. So, of course, there's, the science side, the medical side of, understanding the body and the brain, the heart, how, stress or certain types of things affect the body systems. But having that understanding, in addition to the past that I've had and have had to work through, um, has really inspired me to look at things completely different in a way, where I'm now able to see, how can I transmute this energy into something that is positive, to take forward moving in my life for, a new set of challenges or some new kind of obstacles that I might meet in the future. And so I decided to look up Reiki, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I am going to kind of step away from nursing. And, I had been a nurse since what, 2013. And it was a very toxic environment. Nursing is, not knocking it or anything, because it is, um, gives you a lot of that deep feeling within knowing that you're helping people. But it can also be a very toxic place, work environment, with other nurses, working with practitioners, working with different departments and things like that. And I've worked at different hospitals, so it's not just like it was a one-time thing or a one place. No, it's kind of like the whole. It's just that, really that type of environment, and it's pretty sad that it is that way. But nurses are very overworked. They're underpaid. And a lot of the way that you're treated, sometimes expected to work more longer than your 12-hour shift. Um, And it just it got me, and I was just like, I can't, you don't want to do it anymore. You kind of get burnt out at the same way. But I looked up Reiki, and I really was interested in it because it was something that I knew would be able to help to heal other people, not only by, using my own energy, using my body as a conduit for receiving energy through my crown chakra, and to help, use that energy, divine source energy, through my own body as a vessel to help to heal other people. So when was it? I think, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did my first Reiki course. And it was, I went in there not really knowing what to expect, anything like that. And, there was like these little chairs all set around, kind of like in a U shape, facing the instructor. And we sat on the floor, and then we went into, learning. He wanted us to relax first. And he gave us, put us through this meditation. And we probably stayed like that for, I don't know, maybe like 30 to 45 minutes meditating. And then he, went around the room, and everybody introduced themselves. What type of, kind of background do you come from? What work do you do now? And so at the school that I was going to, there's a lot of massage therapists who were taking that class as a elective to complete their massage therapist um, certificate program. So plenty of massage therapists in there. There was other nurses in there, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, and then when they got to them to tell, what their background is, and it was the same thing. It was like the same story. You're wanting to get out of nursing, not really wanting to do it anymore because it's toxic. It's very toxic. And I love nursing, but it's just kind of like work, having to deal with, staff is a lot of the issue. And I think, a lot of people, if you're lucky enough to be in nursing and find a place that is healthy and that you're not getting burnout, you're not feeling overworked, then, hold on to that job. But I've worked a lot of different places, a lot of different states, and it's just the same thing, and I didn't want it anymore. So, who knows? I'll always have my nursing degree, and I can, if I feel like doing it 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's something that I will always have, if I change my mind down the road. But we sat there, we meditated, and then we started learning kind of like basic fundamentals about Reiki, about the chakras, learning about, the 7 main chakras, learning about the different layers of energetic bodies, auric bodies, spiritual, all of these different, layers you have around yourself. And then being around other people, how that can cause interference into your own space, and how you can kind of be a sponge for picking up someone else's energy. So learning about all of that. And then we had my teacher's partner come in, which was really, really cool. His partner came in, and they split the class in half, and then did our Reiki attunements. Now, our Reiki attunement is when basically they give you like a sacred Reiki symbol, and they put it, into your body, and it's really opening up your crown chakra, and, removing any blockages that you might have through your body, through your chakras, and order for you to use your body as a conduit for divine source energy. So the divine source energy would be coming through your crown chakra, through your body, and then into your hands. So anybody really, that even if they do energy work, or if they are working with, tarot, oracle cards, any type of divination, if you have not taken a Reiki class, I definitely recommend it. At least take the first one, because you're really opening yourself up to receive that energy from source. Because when you're doing a Reiki healing on someone, you're not using your own energy. You're using source energy. You're allowing for that by invoking whatever guides or deities or whatever it is that you want to bring into that healing, you are opening your body up as a conduit for the divine source, white light, loving, compassion energy to enter through you for you to be able to use it for healing. So it teaches you how to work with source energy and then feeling that, my goodness, that feeling. I mean, I've been connected to energy, energies, different energies before, while reading tarot. Picking up on those energies, feeling those energies as I'm doing the readings, but getting a Reiki attunement and having that energy while that instructor is invoking whatever deities they want to bring into it, and feeling that is like nothing I promise, that you have ever felt before. And for those of you that are kind of thinking, maybe I'll just take it online, don't. If you can get to a class and have that experience, I promise you there is nothing like it. Now, everybody's experience, I get it, is going to be a little bit different. But just that experience is one that is like out of this world. So we went in, we got, the sacred symbols, got our attunement, and then at the end of the class, they went through a bunch of other stuff. But what I wanted to share with you guys is my instructor's partner, he has the clair abilities as well, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, the clairsentience, claircognizance, as I do. So I'm sitting there while I'm getting my attunement, and the room is completely dark. There's candles lit on the altar. They've already invoked what other deities they're bringing into the session. He used a lot of Hindu goddesses and gods, so that's what we had present. So when he did it, I felt immediately the energy, because I'm used to feeling energy because I work with tarot, but that, I don't know, it felt like this massive whoosh of energy that was in that room. So, sitting there meditating while they take up each person, and the rule was for us to keep our eyes closed. So you are to hold sacred space for the person, say, next to you until everybody is done. So you're sitting there with your eye closed in the dark and, holding sacred space for the person next to you until they've had their attunement. So I go up for mine. I still have my eyes closed, sitting there. They're doing the Reiki symbols on me, opening up chakras, putting that energy through me. And then by the time he got down to my feet, my teacher's partner, he got down to my feet and then opened up, my chakras, the root, sacral, everything, to put that energy in through there. I felt it go up from my feet all the way up my legs. And then my hands started feeling very, very cramped, very painful. And it's not something everybody, like I said, they were going to experience it different, but it felt like my body was completely cramped. And, or not my body, but just my hands. It felt like a very, I don't know, maybe like an arthritic kind of feeling in my hands, very tense. And he moved my hair out of the way when he was done with it. Right when he was going to take me back to where I was sitting to get the next person for their attunement. And this like made me cry. I better not make me cry right now. But he pulled my hair up, and he's, like I said, he's clairvoyant, clairaudient. So whatever he saw behind you, around you, it could have been ancestors that you might have that are with you, your spirit guides. But he moved my hair back and he whispered in my ear. He said, "You are a child of the light." He said, "And your purpose," don't make me cry. Your purpose sorry guys. Your purpose this lifetime is to help heal and bring light to others with your healing, with your Reiki healing, and with your own light, with your own stories that you are going to share. And I was just like shaking, and he didn't it's kind of like when you have those moments where something happens in your life, you kind of have this epiphany, and when that happens to you, it's kind of like all these images of all these things that you've been through, that you've had to happen to you in your life. And like you start getting visions of them and they all make sense. Everything starts to make sense. And it's almost like this Rolodex of images. For me, being clairvoyant, all of these images started flashing in my mind with my eyes closed. All of these things just like pulsing one thing after another out of all the things that I've been through as I sit there and as he's telling me this. You are a child of the light, and this is what your purpose is. Your purpose is to bring others to the light, for them to find that light within themselves, for them to share their journey, for them to start their own healing so that they are, a lighter, more loving, more compassionate person, because they are here to understand what it is, why you've been through what you've been through, all of those things. So it was like after that, so that's why I tell you, you guys, if you're thinking about doing it, online, if you can, do it in person, because I promise you it will be an experience you will regret not having if you do it online. So we get done with that, we sit down, and it wasn't until the next day that, I didn't know that that wasn't part of, the class, or I thought, maybe he's just saying the same thing to everybody. Okay, but it hit home for me, because it was everything that was confirming every reading that I've ever got in, personal readings from other tarot readers, everything that I had been feeling already, doing my own readings on myself. So it kind of just confirmed that I was making the right choice, that I was doing the right thing. So when I got home before class was over, I was, cool. I was sitting down, finishing meditating in the class, and then we go around the room to share, what our experiences are, what we felt, what we saw. And so we get to the end of class, class was like 8 hours long. So it was a lot of very deep meditative, energy that you could just feel within the room with other people. And then I had never ohmed before. So it's kind of, a thing that I guess Buddhist monks do. I have never done that before. So imagine just like 16 people with the two, the instructor and his partner in there. Just that vibration of the Om, doing that in a meditative state. That's when I started crying, because it was like everything I had just had the attunement, everything that he had just said. And as soon as we did the Om sound with the long vibration, just holding out that tone, that is when me, along with a bunch of other people, started really crying, breaking down, letting out a lot of the stuff that they were holding on to, which is what Reiki does. It removes blockages from certain chakras where you have energy that's not flowing through the center of your body, and it kind of moves that energy around with the divine source energy that you're connected to. So, people started going around the room, sharing their stories, sharing about where they felt it, where on their body they felt it, where they felt the energy, where they felt it exit from, where they felt it enter, what types of visions they saw, if they had the ancestors visit them, if they had their, mother, father, whatever it is, whatever deities they worked with. And so, not till the next day, the second day of class, where one of the girls, she asked, she's like, she goes, I'm kind of weirded out by what so and so said, in my ear towards the end of my thing. She's like, does he say that to everybody, or did he say, whatever it was for her, does he say that to everybody? And our instructor's like, no. He goes, he is clairaudient, he is clairvoyant. So when he receives the messages from source, he delivers them to you, whatever he feels you need to hear, what you need to say, or what you need to hear at that time. So it was just like I was completely floored by that. Was such a beautiful experience. Now, part of Reiki 1 is that before you start to heal other people, before you use yourself as a conduit for your healing energy, that you are to do 21 days of what they call self healing protocol, which means that you do the healing on yourself, covering all the points, covering everything, working on, all of the placements throughout your body where the energy is entering through certain chakras to heal certain things. You are to heal yourself for at least 21 days prior to you starting to heal someone else, because as you're using source energy through your body as a conduit, you don't want to kind of transfer your own energy, things that you might have unhealed, to someone else, vice versa. You don't really want other attachments from other people, things that they may have been through, kind of like that energy exchange. You don't want that kind of interaction. So you want to make sure that you are healing yourself. So I've been working on that, trying to remember every day. You're supposed to do it for an hour a day. So sometimes I have to break it up, because I am at work, and I'm fortunate enough to work from home on Mondays. So then I'll just, sit down and do what I need to do for that. But it's a very beautiful experience. I have Reiki 2 this Saturday and Sunday, so very, very excited about that. And like I said, guys, if you want to take it online, do reconsider, because, finding a really great instructor and just having that experience is when, I promise you, is very life-changing. It will, if you're really into Reiki, really into energy healing, you feel pulled and drawn towards, becoming a light worker, helping to heal others, helping to bring others to their finding their own light within themselves, to kind of get through things that they may have been through, and just being that very loving, compassionate energy for someone else, and also making yourself feel, a lot better that you're able to be out there to help people, is really, what I love about it. It's actually doing something that I love. It's I think it's absolutely amazing. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. I will be posting another video probably on the weekend. I'm going to try to do for this channel at least once a week, because I am pretty busy with my tarot channel. But if you guys, like I said, if you guys do like tarot readings, oracle readings, deck reviews, also follow me, subscribe to me on that channel as well. And then we'll get more into, as I have more time available, when I'm not, right now in Reiki school, I will have more time to kind of post videos more frequently for this one as well, and get more into kind of the stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm sorry for getting my eyelashes wet with you guys. It's just very emotional. It's just like the stuff. Even the day after, I don't know, the first 2 or 3 days after doing self-healing protocol, it brought up a lot of stuff. So it was almost like, driving to work and then crying for nothing out of nowhere on your way to work. is kind of how Reiki works. It kind of brings everything that you've been holding on to, brings it to the surface for you to heal, for you to work through, for you to, because like our instructor said, we are a generation of what he would call stuffers. We go through something, someone pisses us off, someone makes us upset, someone says something, someone does something, we're having a bad day. What do? Stuff it down. Why? Because we don't have time to deal with it right now. We have to get to work on time. You don't have time to cry. You have all your makeup on. It's going to screw up your eyelashes. It's going to get mascara all over the place. And you kind of just deep breathe, stuff it in. I'll deal with it later. And we do that over and over every single day with everything that we go through. You don't have time to do this right now. You don't have time to cry. You don't have time to be upset right now because you have to cook dinner. You have to take care. You have to do laundry. You have to wash dishes. We're so busy. We're so busy doing all this other stuff. So it does bring up a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff you haven't dealt with, you haven't felt, you forgot. There was stuff that came up for me that I hadn't thought about in like 10 years, 12 years, but that's just what Reiki does, and that is the beauty of it. It clears you up, and then if you want to, like I said, for those of you that are tarot readers, oracle readers, any type of divination, you're doing energy work, you're into witchcraft, learning how to kind of harness your energy, learning to use divine source energy for your craft, for your spell work, for your divination. Amazing. So I will post another video on next weekend for Reiki 2, give you guys an update on that. Until then, I will see you guys soon.